I've been digging into the Perth property market data, and frankly, I've found something that should just not be possible. On one hand, you've got houses selling at record speeds and prices surging past the $1 million mark in more and more suburbs. It is, by all accounts, the strongest sellers market in Western Australia's history. And yet, the number of homes for sale has collapsed. This isn't your typical housing boom, it's a market trap. Let's break down why selling your house in Perth in 2026 could be the biggest financial mistake you will ever make. Let's start with the data, because the numbers paint a staggering picture of a market under extreme pressure. In a city of over 2 million people, the number of properties available for sale has been hovering at crisis levels. This chronic lack of supply has created a feeding frenzy where homes are selling in just a median of 9 days, according to REWA. But the most critical number, the one that holds the entire market hostage, is the rental vacancy rate. According to SQM Research and Property Update, Perth's rental vacancy rate is frozen at a crippling 0.7%. This means that for every 1,000 rental properties, only 7 are available. Get your head around that one. It's this tiny number that turns a seller's dream into a potential nightmare. This isn't just about statistics, it's about people's lives getting stuck. Picture a family, for example, and let's call them the Jacksons. They've got a couple of young kids and have outgrown their 3-bedroom house. They see neighbours selling for unbelievable prices and know their own home is a gold mine. They're sitting on an absolute gold mine. But the problem, if they sell, where on earth do they go? They can't possibly find a suitable home to buy in the 9 days their own house would likely be on the market. And with a 0.7% vacancy rate, finding a short-term rental in their kids' school district is next to impossible. So they're completely trapped. They're sitting on a winning lottery ticket and they just can't cash in. So the Jacksons aren't alone. REWA has called this the seller logjam, a paradox where perfect selling conditions create total market paralysis. Homeowners want to sell, but the fear of not finding another home is a much stronger force than the desire for a record price. So how did we get here? The crisis is a perfect storm of factors. First, relentless population growth, and we've just seen this going on for the last 2 or 3 years. The fastest in the country just keeps adding fuel to the fire. People are flocking to WA for jobs and lifestyle, and they all need a place to live. Second, housing construction just can't keep up. So a shortage of skilled labour, with construction having to compete with high-paying mining jobs, means new homes are just not getting built fast enough to meet the demand. This combination creates a doom loop. Low supply makes buyers desperate, so they offer huge amounts to secure a home. This rapid turnover and high prices spook potential sellers, who then refuse to list their own properties. This further shrinks the supply, which makes buyers even more desperate. The cycle feeds itself, leading to the logjam where prices are high, but nobody can move. So then what's next? Is the bubble going to burst? The forecast for 2026 suggests the exact opposite. The fundamentals driving this market, high demand and low supply, aren't going anywhere. Leading analysts are predicting another year of strong growth. KPMG, for example, forecast Perth housing prices will soar by 12.8% in 2026, the highest of any capital city. Echoing the sentiment, REWA also predicts house prices will rise by more than 10%. And it's not just houses. As affordability pushes people towards smaller homes, the unit market is set to explode. REWA forecasts that unit prices could surge by a staggering 15 to 20%. It seems the paradox is set to continue. Prices will just keep climbing, but the fear of being left homeless will keep listings at a crisis level. While some moderation is expected in 2027, the immediate future for Perth remains incredibly tight. This is the reality for Perth's property market in 2026. It's complex, stressful, and for many completely unprecedented. So I'd like to know what you guys think. Are you a Perth homeowner caught in the seller's logjam? Are you a buyer just trying to navigate this frantic market? Share your story and your predictions for the year ahead in the comments just below the video here. And if you want to stay updated on this evolving crisis, make sure to subscribe. So that's the Perth property paradox, a powerful lesson in market dynamics. It shows that a record high price doesn't mean much if it's going to cost you a roof over your head. It's a market that is technically booming but feels broken for the very people living in it. Selling your home for a record price sounds like a dream, but in Perth right now, it's a dream that for many is just simply too risky to chase.